There we go.
Okay, we good? Cool.
Coolio. What's going on, bro?
Not much, man. Just chilling in Australia.
Oh yeah, that's. I was wondering. So are you there permanently or what?
No,
What's the deal?
I'm leaving in February. I'm just here for 3 months.
You're there for summer.
Yep, the Australian summer. The hot summer.
So did you have a 3000 GT
Yeah,
or something?
I did. When I was younger.
Yeah,
I got
3K
fucking
GT.
destroyed. Yeah, man. It's a sad story with that car.
Oh, it's always a sad story with those cars, man. Fucking, you can't work on those cars at all. There's no space. It's almost as bad as my old Supra.
Yeah. Oh, man.
So I am just finding a couple replays from the other night. I don't know. When talk about where I'm at, I haven't really been watching your VODs for a little while because I haven't been around. So I just came back and started playing new maps and getting crushed. I went from like first tier master to playing fucking diamonds.
Okay, it's all good. We can talk about it.
So, and I think it's really, I don't understand the, save this. I'm trying to save a couple replays. That's what I was doing earlier. T2, so that we can watch a couple.
All right, sounds good.
Find you here. I've got 3 queued up now that we can just talk about. There you are. Hardy. Take a look at. So this one is against a GM. So even though I'm in Diamond, I'm still playing GMs.
Yeah, nice.
According to their ranking system. So, you the leader. So,
Are these all going to be Zerg versus Terran today?
What's that?
Are these all going to be Zerg versus Terran today?
No, Protoss as well. So,
Okay.
I mean, I'm doing okay. It's not the worst, but Terran is fucking me up because of, well, just Cyclones are so fucking strong now.
All right.
Right? So, I tried making a bunch of queens, like your typical lots of queen build, right? Before, like I was trying to do, I was watching a couple VODs from you from the other night, and I was trying to follow this, but you can't do that. And I do roaches to stop the Hellions, just a couple, from them doing Hellion Hellbat until they build up their Cyclone count, and then I'm just making a whole bunch of lings to go with it with a whole bunch of queens to try to defend, but
yeah,
they're just doing too much damage.
If your opponent goes like pure Hellbat, you can actually do the Queen Ling style. You just have to have Banelings for the Hellbats. If you don't have Banelings for the Hellbats,
I saw that
it gets really sketchy.
I saw that earlier today.
Yeah.
But you have to have creep to do the Banelings, otherwise
exactly. But they're gonna have to engage. Like they're always gonna engage your hatchery is what they want to do. So you can always just play defensive. Never run off creep. Always stay on creep and let him come to you if you're gonna do that kind of a style.
Yeah. So, okay. So excuse the there's some BM later on because I'm so fucking frustrated at this point.
It's
later
all
on.
good, man.
Not to him, but you know how I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's all good.
I think I lost probably like 10 games at this point. It was just like a debilitating night after you lose. Everything you look at, you're getting so steamy and angry that you play worse. Everything you look at seems to be like fucking unbalanced.
Yeah, for sure.
So fast forward, nothing exciting happens because it's just the standard 3-base queen build type. Lots of queens, lots of lings and roaches, and transition into something like mutas or whatnot.
Yeah.
Right.
So far, not bad. You're keeping your larva down, because the beginning of the game it definitely has like a setup for the end of the game, obviously. But but you're doing it well so far. You're spinning your larva for the most part. You're spinning it well enough while you're still making queens. You're taking a third. It overall looks fine. So far with what you scouted, you saw it was going to be a reactor on a barracks, and he's making the reactor at the same time he's making the factory, which most of the time means he's going to rotate to Hellions. And now you see Hellions.
I see the Hellions. I've got the Roach Warren going down.
Yeah.
I got plenty of queens to deal with it. I'm like out there in front just so he can't just push by.
Here's a little piece of advice really fast. If you want to go for roaches to deal with Hellions, like for a Hellion-based style, do not go mass queen. Only make like
Yeah.
maybe like 1 queen per hatchery and maybe like 2 max to like spread creep.
Okay.
So it'll give you like, if he does like a really quick early Hellion Banshee opener, you'll already have like 5 queens to deal with the Banshee that are out, and you can have like also you would most likely be making like 1 spore per base as well, because if he has cloak, you're gonna need some type of detection. So like a couple of queens roaming are totally more than enough if you're going to be relying on roaches, because if you make queens and roaches, you're not going to be able to afford to make drones. It's a really expensive combination.
Yeah.
But if you're going to be going for a Ling base style, you definitely do need more queens, like maybe up to like 9 queens.
Okay.
So yeah, just something to keep in mind. Don't go.
So how many roaches? Like I've seen you do this before, but I generally don't make a hell of a lot of roaches.
Yeah, I would say 8.
4 to 5.
Okay, if you see they're going for Hellions, you can make like 4 or 5 to start, and that's fine. But if you also see he's adding in Cyclones, you want to have maybe a little bit more. Like, you don't really want to be fighting against Hellbat Cyclone with like 5 roaches.
Well, that's what basically happens. I have about 8 roaches or 5 roaches, and plus like 5 or 6 queens, and he has maybe 5 or 6 cyclones.
So
and the cyclones just rip me apart because they don't fucking die.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But there's one more thing I could say about like your scouting here. You did do a nice early scout where you saw he's got a barracks, he's got a factory, he's probably going to rotate him over. But always try to scout a little bit more than that. Like, do a follow-up scout, for instance. Because when a Terran does something like this, it means they're not going to be making Marines if they're going to be rotating to a factory like that. A lot of times what will happen is the barracks will float over and either make another reactor for a second factory or a tech lab for like a starport or something like that.
I gotcha. And then they'll float to your base to scout and shit with it, too.
Sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. But a lot of times you could easily get your Overlord back in and see what's going on. And if you ever see Terran going for like double reactor factory, like this guy is, you can make a Cyclone and you can also make a fucking Hellion out of a reactor. So it's really common to see Hellion Cyclone with this kind of a style, with this double reactor shit. And if you knew you were playing against it, I would say honestly make even more than like 10 roaches. Make like 16 roaches. And you would make them off of like...
he can kite me though a lot of times with that. So
but you don't get off creep. You just don't go off creep.
Okay. And you get roach speed, obviously.
Because, keep in mind, Cyclones do not lock on anymore to ground units. So it's not like it's going to pick you apart even though you're having to run away.
Yeah.
So if you have like a little bit more roaches, you easily overpower this. And if you overpower even one time, you're actually almost overpowering it already as it is. But you just need a few more, a few more roaches. If you overpower it one time though, it gives you a really good cushion of time to like just fully saturate and be totally fine.
So this guy I don't even think this guy was any good. He just I'm so frustrated again losing to stupidity like this. But he is pushing back my creep.
Yeah,
I really don't feel super threatened still. That's
no, exactly. You shouldn't. It's totally fine. Right now you're doing great. You have
That's
creep.
Scary.
You don't have enough roaches yet. With this many cyclones, you wanna have honestly probably like twice the amount of roaches that he has in cyclones. If you want to just straight up engage roach versus cyclone. So right now if he has 8 over here, you'd want like 16 roaches to really feel like you're going to overpower it. Sure. Because cyclones kind of are like Stimpact Marauders in a way, where they're not going to like single target down one roach like fucking, like with massive hits and like Immortals or some shit like that. They're going to be bursting down roaches like very quickly, but with like lots of attacks at once. So what this means is if you make him have to stay there and fight you, obviously that's when he's going to do maximum damage. But if you have enough roaches to overpower him, and you're going to win the fight anyways, then you're going to win the fight. But since his units rely on as much attack speed as possible, if you actually make him run away from you, you actually are doing more damage than he is. Because roaches are more like the slow type attack speed units, where they're more about like getting that one hit off, and then you can run around for a little bit, and then you get a hit off, and you run around for a little bit. So if you engage him on creep and you make him run away, you get a hit off, and then you just back up, and he does minimal damage to you that way.
Gotcha. Yeah. So use it like a Hydra juke and stick.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
On the creep. What am I doing in production? I'm getting speed. I'm getting lings. So I want lings because lings will fuck up those. But yeah. So I thought I had a hunch that I might be able to beat that, but clearly not. And this is why I lose.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that they do so much fucking damage. Like the Lings melt now.
Yeah, no, the Cyclone's like surprisingly good against Lings too, because it has such a fast attack speed.
Fast, yeah.
Exactly. So the Lings, they're not. It's not like wasting time killing Lings that are already dead. Like they just move on to everything that dies. It's like Marines basically.
Yeah. So look, I mean, like they don't even get a shot on. So basically, Lings are absolutely worthless because I'm thinking it almost like before this change, which I was making Lings, which will kill Cyclones.
Yeah. So the biggest thing. Yeah, it's all good. The biggest thing is, I would say, you have to commit to one or the other. You can't do both Ling and Roach. It's not a great idea to do both Ling and Roach against Cyclone. So one of the ways I would say, if your opponent's going to go like Cyclone Hillbat, if you go for Roaches, definitely invest into like Roach speed, make enough Roaches to push back the Cyclones, which again, I already explained that.
Yeah.
Try to saturate at least 3 bases as quick as you can while defending yourself. And the best thing you can do if you know your opponent's going mass Cyclone Hellbat is, if you're going for Roaches already, is literally just get Burrow and Burrow movement, and then just fucking Burrow under him. Like literally, you'll see him with Creep. You have an idea where he is, and you just up Burrow into all the Cyclones, and you will get insane damage on them, and you'll get great trades. That's one way you can go about dealing with it as an opener. The other way is if you want to actually rely on Lings instead, just rely on Creep Spread and Queens early on, and draw. Like every time he tries to engage you, draw him into creep more by making your queens retreat. If he doesn't chase you, don't give a shit. Just plant your creep swimmer down and call it a day. But if he does chase you in, flank with Lings like into where he's coming in. And also, if he has Hellbats, you do need Banelings. But just flank him with like Ling Bane and just blow up the fucking Hellbats, the majority of them with your Banes, and then just surround with Lings. And you're also going to be getting some splash damage on the Cyclones as well while you're killing the Hellbats with your Banes.
Gotcha. I didn't think Banes would do enough damage to the mech. That's why I hadn't been making them. I thought they would be just like running them into a Marauder. But
it is similar to that. But the thing about Cyclones is he's not going to ever have a shitload of them. At most, he'll have like 8 or like 6.
Yeah.
And if you have enough Lings, if you have enough Banes to just wipe out the Hellbats and you swarm the Cyclones, you will win that fight every time. Especially if your queens are in the back, just pot-shotting as well.
It feels like this patch is like let's buff everything and let's nerf everything from Zerg, because fucking everything that they gave Zerg they took away. The Hydra range, the fucking
somewhat
Infestor, the Deep Burrow. All we have now is we can cast underground. Big fucking. I mean, it's nice.
It's good. It's good.
It makes Neuroparasite kind of okay again. Kind of like you used in the last game, but it only lasts.
You're being kind of biased right now. That's pretty good still, man. The Hydra still has its speed. It's still better than it was before. The range was definitely very nice, but
yeah, but I mean, like it didn't have any weapon damage upgrade. Like basically every buff they gave to Zerg has been clawed back, except for Hydra speed, which is they were fucking slow, and they're still slow. It's not like they're fast. They're still fucking slow. They can't catch anything, right? Even on creep, they're still pretty slow. So, I mean, anyways. No bitching.
It's all good, man.
Here, watch for the. Here, this is a grand. So I try and do. I'll make you the.
Sounds good. Is this gonna be another mech game?
Okay. Yeah. No, it's not. It's a bio game.
All right.
Come on, everybody, in the channel. Laugh. Come on. You gotta laugh at that BM. Shit. That was some straight BM by me. But anyway, so this is a GM, and I don't know if it's worth doing what I do, but I was so cheesed at this point, and this has been working for me before a lot, which is you do, after the initial Reaper Scout, you kind of, when they back off to see if you're making a third and whatnot, they don't usually scout in too many times after that, and if they do, I have my Lings run off to another spot, but basically I Ling Rush the very beginning to deny the second. Right, deny harvesting from the second.
Yeah.
Well, and then while I'm doing that, I'm droning up like a motherfucker.
Yeah, that's
so
legit.
I sacrifice my early drone up so that I can deny their second, and then I just go for Banes to defend because I don't lose many of those Lings. Or if I do, it's because I'm killing his Marines, which delays his drop on me.
Yeah. The only thing that'll really counter what you do, like if your opponent prepares properly to deal with what you're talking about, it will put you behind, but a lot of people don't play that way. And the way that would be is if you built a bunker between the command center and the ramp, and then you built like 1 or 2 depots in front of the bunker, if he actually did that, he would not take any damage from this. Because that's how people used to play in Wings of Liberty. Like, they used to do exactly what you're talking about, where they do, like, a 16 to, like, 24 Ling timing in the natural, and just kill a bunch of SCVs and shit like that. And you, like, overpower the bunker, because the bunkers were really common back then.
Yeah.
But yeah, the way a lot of people play now is they just rush tech the fucking either factory straight up and go Hellions, or they go straight into Starport and go heavy bio like Marine.
See, he's at my third, and he never sees these links. He doesn't have any idea they're coming. He sees that one, but he doesn't know what's going on, right?
Yeah, no, this is totally fine.
So
it's just even
I'm
greater
up there,
if you get like Lings.
and I kill all that. I deny, any of the workers out there. A lot of times, if they're really greedy, they transfer some more.
Yeah.
So I actually overproduced Ling because I
think
just
you did too.
wanted to make sure I did damage.
So with I understand what you're saying. You wanted to make sure you do damage, but a lot of times what will happen is if you engage with your first set of Lings, if your opponent is going to be able to defend himself, he's going to most likely crush it. Like I think it's really risky to like have two waves of Lings. You know what I mean? Like one wave is like 15, 16 Lings, and then you got another wave of like 16 coming in behind it. Because if your opponent is already prepared, it's not going to do anything. And then if he knows that you're doing that, he's going to get even more defensive before your second set gets there.
Yeah. Well, what it is a lot of times I straight up win right here by they don't catch me, so I don't run straight into their mineral. I run straight up their ramp
and
as they're backing up the Marines, and I don't let them close the ramp.
Yeah.
So I get in a lot of times, and then that just ends the game, right? But this.
I feel like it's good. Like it's definitely a chance to just end the game.
It's risky. It's exactly.
But yeah, exactly.
It's like a gamble. It's a total gamble. It's like going to fucking Las Vegas. And, so like, I mean, it was totally right here. I'm just trying to deny for a little while. So I denied, but I'm at 36. He's at 28, and I'll go up to 40 something. So I'm way ahead now, right? On my saturation. Like 42 to 30, right?
No, it's been very good because you've also denied the fact that he can't make SCVs while he's denied like that, which is really good for you.
Yeah, when he's floating, he can't do anything with that, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just here waiting for the drop. I know it'll come, and I just handled it really bad. That's
so I think right now
I'm trying to go Muta. So
even though you're
go really hard Muta.
Even though you're gonna go Muta, just identifying that he's gonna go for the double medevac, that kind of build. Even though you did a little bit of damage, it's really nice. I think the better way you could have opened this is put a little bit more emphasis on the Ling Bane and less emphasis on quicker Muta, which would be and also more queens, because you like basically what I'm saying is I think you took way too much gas way too fast. I think you should honestly be on 2, maybe 3 gases rather than 6. And you should still be making the Spire. That's still a good idea to start the Spire. And then starting the Baneling Nest having a Baneling Nest is good. You want to get Baneling speed. But just having a bit more Queen to really emphasize your creep spread and just fully saturating your actual mineral line faster would be better in my opinion. Because if you deny the drops, then you're good to go. You're golden.
A lot of times I end up with a ton of money, no way to spend it. That's one of the other problems I have when I saturate really fast like that, and I don't take the gas. I'll end up with like 1,500 bank, 1,600 bank while I'm dying.
Every time this happens, are you going for Zergling styles?
Yeah, if I'm doing Zergling styles, because I don't have enough hatcheries.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just if you know you're gonna go for a Zergling style and you're saturating fast and you have a common problem of too much money, just make it a habit in your build to where as soon as you're done, like you have now completed saturation, you are no longer making drones. Immediately make a macro hatch right after that, because that hatchery will be finishing as your economy really kicks in, and it's not really hindering your production of your drones before that.
Sure, gotcha. Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, and those are the games actually that I win a lot more of when I have that 4th hatch and a 5th. Like I take my expansion, my 4th, and I take a macro hatch at that time. So, and like basically this is my problem. So I'm gonna cheers a drop. I didn't expect a drop on the main. I was looking for the other thing, and that does damage there. And then he's dropped, and I just fall apart. Right? That's it. That ends the game. Those 2 bullshit drops just in the game right there.
Yeah, no, like he's crippled your army, and he's now crippling your 3rd, and he's growing an army even more and more at home while he's harassing you.
Yeah.
And then he's got another drop in your main.
Honestly, medevacs heal so fast.
Yeah, it's all about just having enough to overpower which is why I was talking about maybe like emphasizing more on the Ling Bane earlier on. Because if you just have more, it'll actually allow you to saturate faster and have more larvae to work with. If you have more minerals that you're coming in with, you can even start a fourth base faster, all that shit. Because mutas are still a great choice. They're still great eventually, but just like
pause the game for a sec. Pause the game for a sec. Look at his income. Oh, it just went down. It was at 1900 on 2 base.
Yeah, no, it's because he had
he dropped 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mules. Gee, I wonder, wouldn't it be nice if we could drop 5 queen injects to get like 30 larvae?
I've the one thing I've always agreed about mechanics that I think is kind of stupid is that Terran can throw down all their energy at once, whereas other races have to wait for it. It's like you can't just like forget about it and then be like, oh look, I hit a lottery. I always wish they would put like an internal cooldown on a mule for like at least like 10 seconds per mule or some shit.
Yeah.
But yeah,
like this game is done. I mean,
yeah, no, it's over. It's just, in my opinion, great opener in terms of like fucking the turn over and getting yourself ahead, but then kind of a risky follow-up rushing muta that fast.
So go into Ling Bane to defend and more queen.
Yeah, because you
get up with the mutas. Would you even? I guess would you go into mutas later? Like
yeah.
You just really build around 10 only. I mean, what's the magic number that you like to say at? Because I feel like I cannot kill. Like if they put up 2 turrets, you basically even if I have 20 mutas, I can't really do any damage. Like you gotta kill those turrets. He's running his drones and he's running his marines back and stuff. Well, not 20, but like say 15. You lose 1 muted there to a couple turrets or something.
A lot of times early on in the game, you're not really you shouldn't be too worried about getting into his base and harassing his. If he's going for like bio, you shouldn't be too worried about getting into his base and harassing his SCVs and stuff like that, because he will have, and there will be turrets in there waiting for you. And 10 mutas are definitely not going to overpower a turret, and you're going to lose probably like 2 mutas if you even attempt to try to engage it before you're like, oh fuck, he's repairing, I should leave now. What the 10 mutas are more designed for, 10 mutas is the exact amount of mutas you need to one-shot a Widow Mine if he does not have armor upgrades, and it will 2-shot a medevac. So 10 mutas is really good defensively if you're actually like controlling your side of the map, killing Widow Mines and medevacs. And then it also 10 mutas, sorry, will if he doesn't have armor upgrades, it'll 3-shot a tank. It takes a little bit longer to kill a tank, but yeah, the main thing is it kills medevacs in 2 hits and Widow Mines in 1 hit. And then it allows you really to have more control of the map and really spread your creep further and have just more overall control of the game. And then you can go into more mutas later once you have control. Going into mass muta right away is definitely like really fucking risky and could lose you the game like it just did. Because you don't actually have an army because you're investing so hard into tech that comes later when his timing comes now.
Oh,
sure.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. Like, and that's the thing. A lot of times when I have that...
thank you guys for all the support. Sorry I'm not really acknowledging it. I just in a coaching lesson. I love you guys though. Thank you for the support.
And I don't have enough Ling Bane at home and it just runs me over.
Yeah, that's just how it goes, man. But yeah, that's just my biggest recommendation in that game is identifying a strategy. It's Marine. It's a Marine-based build. Marines are great against mutas. They fucking own mutas in low numbers. And if he's already going for like, he's going to go for medevac timing and you're not going to have mutas for like 2 minutes, just don't even bother rushing for them. Just the best thing you can do, this is the best way to look at every game. What is the most efficient way, the fastest way without me taking damage that I can saturate all my bases that I want to have and then start making an army? And definitely mutas are not the way to do that in that situation, because if you just rush muta, you have a huge hole in your build to where he can kill you. Whereas
so how do you deal with such like harass all the time? Like I feel like if I don't get mutas out, I can't stop the fucking medevac harass, like with the mines and
queens.
The bullshit.
You gotta use
like
queens.
I've seen even with a lot of times I don't have all the queens rallied there at my base and whatnot. And so when he drops 2 Widow Mines in the base, sometimes like you can't even get the drones out because he drops it so quick.
So one of the best things you can do against Terran as well is not control group everything you make.
Leave it.
Yeah, like you can just if you know you're playing against a drop heavy Terran, and you're really preoccupied with your third base, but he's going to drop your main at some point. It's going to happen. Just make like 10 eggs of Zerglings, which becomes 20 lings. Leave them in your main. Just like fucking leave them there. You could even take it one step further and morph in like 3 banelings out of those and just fucking leave them there. And then the second you see, oh look, he's attacking my main, rather than having to be like my whole link control group, go to my main now. You could just green box the shit in your main already and just send it towards where the medevac is, and then fucking forget about it. And then look at your main engagement, your third, make sure you don't make any mistakes there, and then just briefly like take a little quick check every once in a while, every maybe like 20 seconds. Be like, is he still in the main? Is his medevac still there? Is he trying to move around somewhere else now? And you can do the same thing with, like, you were to move out. Let's say now this whole situation's over. Now it's like a split map scenario where you both really want to attack each other. You could leave a group. You could leave one little tiny group of lings, maybe like 15 supply worth of lings, in both sides of the map, on the left side and on the right side, or on the top side and the bottom side, depending on how the map is split. Like, for instance, this map is top to bottom, so you could leave a group of lings like right there and a group of lings like right there, and you could just fucking leave them there. And if you see a medevac coming in any angle, move them there to deal with it.
Well, even when there's but the thing is, when there's a medevac, like even a group of lings, you lose too fucking much. Like one,
but that's why you have to
double medevac drop. You have to have a couple banes there.
Exactly. That's why I said morph in a couple banes.
Yeah.
And the best thing you can do too is if you actually catch them on the minimap.
Wrong replay. Cancel this.
Okay. The best thing you can do as well is if you actually see the medevac on the minimap, get under it before it starts dropping. You could just literally you could right click the medevac. So yeah, he can't heal while dropping Marines. And then you will just you'll get amazing trades because he drops his Marines into fucking death, basically.
Okay, so maybe it's this one. So there was a game against Protoss. It seems like Sky Toss is the whole new thing. You know how much I hate Sky Toss, but I'm able to beat it generally, actually, pretty decently. The only problem I can't now is that carriers are so strong still. Like I don't know. It's so frustrating when the game. This is the one thing that Davey doesn't understand. If that was him that you're really playing the last game, fuck him. Because any race that should be able to get to, if you get here, you insta lose, is not a fun game.
It's honestly, you do have options though, Wizard. It can be really difficult though, because a lot of things that Protoss do is they're literally A-moving their carriers, and all they're worrying about then is like their Templars or something to mass fucking storm your army, and that's
and they got a mothership. It's like let's push F2, click A, and then we control my Templars and have a good day. You know, like, so what I do is I run my corruptors right on top of their carriers, so that if he storms, he's storming his carriers too, right, and his interceptors and every fucking. But
generally speaking, his storm is gonna get, even if he's on top of his own army. Like, if you're on top of his own army, he's gonna get way better trades with storm on you than his carriers. It doesn't even matter at that point. But
like, I feel like I can't escape though. Like, he can storm in front, but you'll see. So there's not this game, but there's another game that I played, a Protoss. He did his carrier bullshit. I won, and then he did the exact same thing again, and I lost. The only difference was he added a bunch of zealots instead of making 3 billion cannons like he did the last time. Every base he added, because I just pissed on the areas that he couldn't cannon. You know, like going around, and even if there was one cannon hitting me, I'm pissing on it. So I killed all those bases, and I was like 4 bases up on him. But what he ended up doing in the next game that I lost was he simply just sent out like 3 or 4 zealots and DTs and whatnot just to harass a base, like warping 7 or 6 zealots and send them to a base. And they'll do so much damage even if I have 3 sunkens there that you almost need like 4 or 5 sunkens to stop that, right? And all my supply is incorrupted and a couple Viper. So like it was really hard to stop what he was doing, and I had a couple swarm hosts like that was eating like crazy because I kept swarm hosting his cannons and wasting the free units on like whatever. Yeah.
If you're gonna go for a Spire-based build, you definitely want to invest all your supply into either it's Spellcaster, Corruptor, or Muta, or Ling. If he's going for like a full-on Sky Toss, no fucking ground at all, he just has a massive fleet. You don't want to have any fucking Mutas in your army, and you don't really want to have any Lings in your army either. You want to have basically like a death ball of Corruptor and maybe some Viper or some shit like that.
That's generally what I had, right? And it was, instead of Viper, instead of Lings, I think I actually had, it was Swarm Hosts, right? And I was fully maxed.
Go ahead.
So this game, we'll talk about that more, but this game here, actually this is a different game than, I shouldn't have showed this one. This one I just was frustrated again, trying to figure out what the fuck can I do to stop them from getting away with doing bullshit.
Yeah.
So I tried dropping Lings, hitting, 3 points, drop in his main, drop in his expansion, and hit the front.
Yeah.
Doesn't do shit. And
No, I
should
know.
drop Banes, but
With this game,
worthless.
like,
It just puts me behind.
yeah, like you're already super far behind right now. You're behind by 7 workers.
I'm just that's not even look. Let's look at the one I lost then with the Sky Toss, because that's
Okay.
what I'm after is figuring out how to deal with.
All right, sounds good.
I'm just gonna hang on. Let me kick you from the party real quick. I just want to see if this is the game, or just
Oh, sure.
go through it real quick
That's
and
fine.
if it's actually it.
But the big thing about Skytoss is knowing what to scout and what to what to basically look for that really like identifies that he's going Skytoss to you. And if he is, it's all about economy at that point. If you can keep his low and keep yours up, you're gonna have a great day. And if it's the reverse of that, if he's able to keep yours low or even keep it even, it's gonna be a lot more challenging to deal with it.
If you keep what even? Sorry.
If you can actually be ahead in economy, like you need to be ahead in economy, you need to have more gas income than he does by far. Like if you can, if he's on 3 base, you want to be on like fucking 5 or 6. Because what you really want to do, the best way to beat Skytoss is to trade against it, not to like turtle and let him max and let you max. You want to be trading non-stop, even if it means you're gonna be like fly in with your first 12 corruptors and kill 1 carrier and then fly out or something like that. Alright, so this is the right replay?
So this is one of them. I see what he's doing. I saw he had the Stargate. I'm looking at his third with my thing. I saw the proxy there, and I was like, huh, what the fuck is this about, right?
Yeah.
So I think it was a juke proxy, though, because he has nothing, and he's going for a third.
He could have also, he could have been, most likely, yeah. But he could have also, he had a gateway there too, didn't he? Did he canceled, I think?
Yeah, he had a gateway there too, yeah.
He might have wanted to do like a little bit of zealot pressure on your base, just here and there, while doing work prison pressure. Just to like spend some extra money to annoy the shit out of you and try and slow you down. That is kind of common.
What do I have here? I have just 3 roaches and production. Yeah, so that was it. I didn't really overmake it because I wasn't sure what he was doing, whether he was doing adept stuff.
Yeah.
And I see when I saw the Stargate, or maybe I didn't see the Stargate. How the hell do I know?
You saw an Oracle.
Oh yeah, that's right. I saw. So when I saw air, then I just kept droning, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep droning. What am I at income now? 58, 55. So not a hell of a lot further than him. And I figured there's a third, and now I find it. Just do a little damage, run away, right? Do nothing. And I'm going into... Do I go into Hydra? I think I go into Hydra here, and which is absolutely pretty good. I think I'm doing the old Hydra build. Where you do Ling Bane, bunch of Hydras.
Ling Bane against this would not be the greatest.
No, I have Corruptors, so I don't know what I'm doing, to be honest with you.
If you never really want, okay, so if he goes Mass Zealot, if he's got like very minimal air, and like if he's got like, let's say like 5 Void Rays and Mass Charge Lot, Baneling Hydra would be fucking amazing. But if he's actually going full on Skytoss with like 3 Stargate carriers or some shit like that, you do not want to be investing into Banelings, because all that's going to do is just waste your gas on dealing with minimal ground. The gas is the key here. Like the key to beating Skytoss is controlling the game of gas. You want to always be ahead of him in one way or another, whether it be you're more efficiently spending yours, or like if he's making a bunch of sentries with Skytoss, it's fucking terrible, because it's going to really hinder the amount of units he has. He's obviously not going to do that. He's going to most likely be spending all of his gas on air. So if you're cutting your gas in half, where you're making a shitload of Banes and also making a shitload of anti-air, you're like giving him the advantage of gas, and you don't want that at all.
How do you deal with this then? Because this is exactly what my dilemma was. If I make Banes, I can't deal with the Zealots. I mean, I can deal with the Zealots, but then I can't deal with his Void Rays and air.
But yeah, the example I was talking about was if someone goes just mass air and makes like fucking very like no ground at all. That's when you don't want to be making like Banes. But if this dude is like this game specifically, he is going for how many gateways does he have? He has fucking like
but
7,
now he's
6
getting
gates.
Stargates. Like he is going air.
No, I know he is. But he's going 7. This is 7 warp gate zealot charge lot. And he has charge. He's revealing he has charge because he's killing your shit with charge. This would be fine to make a few Banelings in and do like a Hydra Baneling timing. That would, or like a Corruptor Ling Baneling timing. That would be totally fine. But your goal here would be you need to fucking kill a base, or at the very least, never let him take a 4th base. Never let him take another base.
So I didn't know. I thought he was going air because of all the void rays I saw earlier, and this was totally by surprise. When I saw all these zealots, I was just like, "What the fuck is this?" Right?
Yeah.
And normally, where just Protoss puts their money when they're doing this bullshit is they put like 5 or 6 cannons around their base.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's what I'm expecting to see, but I didn't see any of that. So I figured, well, what the fuck is he doing? And then all of a sudden, this shit shows up in my base, right?
Yeah, this is becoming a lot more common too. I'm playing against people who go charge lots a lot more now than before when they go sky toss. It's a lot harder to deal with.
There's no way I'm gonna win this. It doesn't matter what I get now. Like the zealots just do so much fucking damage. What I'm doing is surrounding my roaches, so you know.
You could still like overall in this game, you're actually still not in that terrible of a spot. You are behind, but you're not in that bad of a spot.
Yeah.
I would say those corruptors are. Oh my god, I don't know if they're gonna kill it, but even if they do kill it at this point, probably not worth.
Yeah, I know. I let it die, but I thought for sure I could get it. But it's just everything's going wrong this game. So the reason I made Ravagers here was because I figured I'm gonna bomb the base, and I'll make Lings and Hydras. Or what am I making? I have no idea what I'm doing at this point. I'm going for a Lurker Den, I'm going for Infestation Pit, and I'm going for a Baneling Nest, and I'm going for all upgrades. So I think I'm just in complete disarray.
Yeah, the Ravager idea, that's again the same problem that you were falling into again before, which is you don't have gas control. And the other thing with Ravagers that's not as good is a Ravager is actually slower than a Roach. When a Roach has a speed upgrade, a Ravager runs slower than that. And a Ravager also has less health than a Roach. And he's going for charge lots. So he's basically trading minerals for gas.
I think I wanted to do Infestors. That's what I was thinking. There's so many Zealots, I just Ravager bomb them, and in the end, I forgot, and this is why I have Banes and everything. Even I see Carriers as well. Like this Death Ball is fucking insane, because if I win the air fight with Corruptors, I lose the ground fight, and I lose a whole bunch of bases to all those Zealots.
Yeah,
right?
I honestly think at this point there's absolutely no way balance-wise you should never win the air fight though, because you've already spent probably like 800 gas on the Ravagers and like another 400 gas on the Banelings, that could be 12 Corruptors right there that you no longer have in your army. And like the Infestors, Infestor Ravager against Skytoss that's like super fancy, never gonna work kind of thing.
But it's because I saw so much ground before. Like I'm lost at what I'm in, and like at this point I'm in that steep mode. You know what I mean? Like I was saying before.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck am I gonna do, right? Like he's got charge locks, which will destroy my ground. They eat up roaches unless you kite them, and you can't really kite them when they charge. So I have to get Lurkers, I figure, to deal with all those freaking things. But then that's using the gas I need to kill.
All right.
His air.
So I have a good recommendation for you, because I know this style can be confusing, especially like the first time you see it, when you're like, what the fuck? I don't even understand. This guy's going air, he's going ground, he's doing fucking everything. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, one of the best things I think you could do is if you are unsure if your opponent's like if he's going a mixture of ground and air, all you got to do is just literally just open up roaches like you did. That was fine. You were actually in a decent spot when you went roaches early on. But then from that point on, try to maintain like a 4-base economy, okay? Like a 3.5 to 4-base economy, and just go fucking Roach Hydra. Just add in some Hydras. Don't even fucking worry about everything else. Because if he's going a mixture of shit, Roach Hydra actually performs pretty well against that. And then, like we talked about earlier, your biggest goal would be to never let him take a 4th base. And if you can do any more than that, maybe kill a 3rd base. Who knows?
Sure.
Do something with that. But just literally try to overpower him with Roach Hydra, and have that as like your first step as dealing with it. And you can experiment later on when you get more comfortable at analyzing, like, okay, this dude's going fucking this bullshit. I know exactly what he's doing. You can try and do different stuff. One way to deal with it, there's 2 best ways to deal with it. And the first way, the easiest way, would be to open Roach, because Roach keeps you safe against most random timings off of Gateway, like Mass Adepts or some shit like that. And then adding in Hydras will help against Stargate additions later on. Another way you could deal with it is going, you go Lings with upgrades, like melee upgrades, and Banelings if you do actually need a little bit of Banelings, that's fine, or a little bit of Roaches early on for the initial like charge lots that'll hit your base, that's fine. But you could go into Corruptor Muta Ling eventually, And the mutas deal with the ground.
When you get charge, I mean, do you go into Baneling speed when it's charge lots? I think you said normally you do against when they're attacking with charge lots and things like that.
If I was going to go for Hydras, yes, I would go for Baneling speed. If I was going to go for mutas, no, I wouldn't even bother.
Sure.
So like again.
Well, but you can't really even go for mutas because he had Dark Archons in there too.
That's fine. That's totally fine. He can't afford to go. Like the thing that's deceiving is his army, his gas is the important part about his army. Like he doesn't give a fuck about his zealots. The zealots are literally just like, hey, go die. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. You go die. You go die. He doesn't give a shit about zealots. He only cares about things that cost gas, which is the carrier, the void ray, the archon. Maybe a little bit of Stalker earlier. Stalkers are kind of like meh, though. But he cares about units that primarily cost gas in his army. And every time you fight him, he's not losing those units. He's only losing the zealots. So then you engage, you lose gas, he loses just pure mineral, and then you back off. And then he adds to his gas units, and you remake the shit you lost. And then you guys fight again. He keeps retaining his gas units longer and longer, and it turns into the situation where like 10 minutes have gone by, and you're like, what the fuck? His army is huge. I don't even understand how the fuck this happened. And it's because you never actually killed his gas. Whereas you're investing gas to kill his minerals, which is a horrible fucking investment for you.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Against his zealots, right?
Yeah, so you don't want to be you don't want to be overcommitting to dealing with zealots. So the best thing you can do is against every Protoss, just open fucking Roach Warren early on, because you don't know what they're going to do. That's like a safety Roach Warren. And then as soon as
that's what I'm doing. So I'm doing the 3 minute timing like you told me before. So 3 minutes, I'm taking both gases. I'm taking my Roach Warren, and then I continue saturating and I get a layer right away, and then a couple roaches to deal with whatever's going to be at that time.
Yeah. So
right?
yeah, making the Roach Warren's nice because it keeps you safe from a lot of random timings. But again, the best thing you can do is either commit to Roach Hydra if you realize that's like the style that he's going to do, because then you can just really try to overpower him and not let him expand, keep his economy low. Or you can go into, like we said, Spire and melee upgrades for Lings. You don't even honestly need Banelings with this that much. You could just rely on Roaches early on, like 10 Roaches or something to deal with the Zealots, and also add in Lings to that.
So how many Hydras are you putting into there? Because Hydras are so gas expensive,
mass Hydra,
right?
Like if you're going to go for the Hydra base style, you're almost going to be doing primarily Hydra.
Okay, so and only about 10, 15
like,
roaches.
Probably like honestly like 15 to 20 roaches and like 40 Hydras.
Sure. Okay, like a 2 to 3 mix.
Yeah, because you like if you're fighting mostly air, like if there's a like for instance, it's the gas conversation again. If you're investing your gas to deal with his minerals, which is his pure zealots, you don't want to over-invest into dealing with that, because if you over-invest into roaches to dealing with the zealots, you're under-investing into hydras to deal with his fucking carriers, which actually are going to kill your entire army.
So how do you deal with all those zealots then? Because if I don't have enough roaches like 1-to-1 roach zealot, like if he has 10 zealots and I have 10 roaches, I'm losing that fight.
Okay, so yeah, for instance, you can you do things like you can engage. Yeah, you can use terrain against him, like a choke point. You can engage, and then you can stutter step backwards away from the carriers and let the charge lots come into you. If the Protoss is lazy, he will lose all of his fucking zealots before the carriers catch up. His zealots are way faster than carriers. Stuff like that. All you gotta really do is eliminate the zealot wave one time, and then you can get under the carriers and pick them off. Later on, you can do things like add in infestors when you start accumulating more gas, and you can even go for something like Neural or fucking fungal the interceptors or fungal the zealots even, and then kill them.
Yeah. Okay. So I win this game. I lose the next one after this. So to the same guy doing exactly the same build,
all right.
But all he did was add in some zealots and some other shit. So you can speed it up until it gets exciting.
One thing though, I'm gonna give you a little just an idea here. I do think you do take too much gas too quickly,
too early,
because every single game against Protoss you are behind every single time in worker count, and that's drastically.
Well, they're not saturated right now, so there's nothing in there because I noticed he was going air. Once I scouted again, I saw his Starport building there by his Nexus.
Yeah.
So I pulled them all off and stopped doing What's my units? I only have 3 roaches, right? Because I was worried about the adept stuff. I'm always worried about that bullshit adept stuff because it's very hard to see coming.
Yeah. So, like, my opinion would be, honestly, I would not. If I were you, I would not take my first 2 gases. Like, I know you like to get speed for, usually for like dealing with adepts and shit, but which is fine. But generally speaking, if you do or even do not get speed, you want to be on 1 or 2 gases until you're saturated on 2 full mineral lines. And then as soon as you're saturated on a 3rd mineral line, is when you would take gases 3 and 4.
Okay. So when you're dealing with the adept pressure, because I'm sort of trying to copy what you told me the last session we had, which was 3 minutes, you take both gases.
Yeah.
And then you get your layer, and you get roach speed, and you get a overseer if needed. So I've been trying to just open that way because it's very hard for me to see. I keep poking up to see what he has, right? You know, that's why my units are across the map there. And trying to figure out what the heck he's going. So, and I figure it was Sky Toss at this point. So this is why, what's my production? I'm making 10 more drones. Yeah.
I do think that
and overseer speed, overseer speed, so I can see what he's actually doing. So I can confirm it.
It's like going for like the build we talked about before, going for like double gas in 3 minutes. That's definitely something I like. It's very fucking greedy and very good. But even at, like, for instance, just the big thing though is investing into just investing into like too much gas too early is in itself, and also investing into like too much larva and too many overlords too early. Because right now that is your problem in this game. You have too much supply and you have too few drones on the mineral lines, and you have more if you made fewer overlords and you made less gas mines, which would increase the efficiency rate at how quickly you saturate your 3rd base. And you are making more drones, which is great. You're about to catch up, and you're about to almost catch up in drone count after these pop. Right now you're down by 12, and you're about to be down by 2. So it's definitely something to say about the efficiency of workers. You should be already like pulling ahead of the Protoss, if not by like like a lot of workers basically. It'll really help out your overall build in the mid game.
Well, I did lose a bunch to Oracle.
No, I know, it's okay.
All right, so here I see what he's doing. I see his 3rd. I go take a 4th. Right, droning still. I think, yeah, getting a spire because I see all the cannons there. I know what's going on. You know, I've seen this dog and trick pony game before. So, what am I up to? Am I sitting there making nothing?
So yeah, like right now.
There we go, 21 drones.
Yeah, it's good. I would say like all you need to do right now is make fucking shitloads of drones. If you realize, oh look, he's going Sky Toss, and I would even be taking like a 5th base right now.
I think I do. I think somewhere I go, I soon. That's exactly what my plan is. It's like when I know Sky Toss is going on, I just take every base.
It's good.
I want the gas out of it. Not even that I want to saturate it. I just want the gas.
Yeah, it's really good. I also like that your queens are coming over to defend your 4th base. Because right now it's really unrealistic to have any type of air unit out to deal with a Void Ray. But the queens are going to prevent your 4th from dying, which, again, this is all about time. This is now more time you have to mine gas once you're fully saturated, which is really good. Yeah, like getting Carapace is important. You're getting a 2nd Spire though. I think that's over eager. Too much investment. I don't know if that's an intentional Spire or if it's an accidental Spire.
Yeah, it was for both double upgrades.
You don't want to get double upgrades against Sky Toss. You're doing overkill anyways. Like you're gonna have enough corruptors to kill shit in one shot because you are gonna be focus firing, and regardless of if you have an attack upgrade or not, the unit's gonna die. So it's overkill, so you don't need an attack upgrade, and the difference would be you have more corruptors to overkill with if you have less gas invested into upgrades and a 2nd Spire. You want more corruptor.
Zealot. Zealot. I call it a Zealot. What's his PM it?
Everyone says, everyone is always, it's always like
Zealot.
Zealot.
What do you call it? I call it a Zealot.
It's Zealot.
I know it's a Zealot, or Zealot. I call it a Zealot.
Everyone,
it's one, man.
Yeah, that's the whole thing back then. That's all good, man.
You guys are too young. You don't know. You don't know. Go back to Brood War. All those other guys in the chat. Oh
Right.
man, if
So-
I could only I can't wait for this Legacy StarCraft to come out, so we can play BGH again, and all the bullshit in the map where you could drop a tank behind the, on the ledges and all that bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so fun back in the day.
I agree. This shit was pretty fun.
So.
Like-
Yeah, I just going around with my corruptors to piss on buildings, and I just delaying him being able to take bases and things like that, and you can just speed this up because there's nothing really special. I do win this one, but I think it's because he didn't do any ground.
So I have one question really fast.
Sure.
Why are you wanting to go into Roach Hydra Double Evo right now?
I'm not. I'm just building that shit just in case for later on. So I have money coming in. I have, what do I have? I have 78 drones. I've got 4 base gas. I'm gonna get the other 2 base gas. I'm building it for upgrades for later on if I need it, if I need to transition or something. Because to me, 150 minerals for the Roach Horn and then the Hydra Den is not that expensive. Either at this point in the game.
Yeah, because it's again, this all falls in the same category of wasting gas, in my opinion.
Sure.
If you start investing into 1-1 upgrades and then 2-2 upgrades, and you invest into Roach speed and Hydra speed, you're investing hundreds of gas, soon to be thousands of gas, into upgrades for units that honestly become irrelevant the longer the game goes on. So if you're not going to open with them, they're fucking irrelevant anyways. You're not going to ever go open Corruptor into Ling Nita or some shit and then go Roach Hydra sounds amazing right now. It's really rare for that to be a thing. Most of the time, you have a better
What
option.
it is actually, it's lurkers. Sometimes I get lurkers later in the game.
That's even more gas. That's
Yeah, well, when he switches to ground, if he switches into a bunch of ground with
what kind of Archons are what you're afraid of? Is that the main one? I just want to explain.
Archon is mainly the one I'm afraid of.
So-
I have I can't. What am I supposed to fight ground with? If
Broodlord.
it's Zealots and Archons, if I just have Corruptor,
Broodlord.
that's my problem.
Broodlords are amazing. So the best thing you could do against ground, if you're really afraid of him doing ground transitions, here's the best 2 things you can do. Number 1 is rely on a mineral-based defense, which is Spinecrawlers and Zerglings. Zerglings are surprisingly efficient as soon as they're level 3 melee and Adrenal Glands, which that is a totally viable upgrade to get because you can use Lings to also deny bases and keep his gas low. So you're really being annoying as fuck on the map to ruin his economy. The other thing they do is they're just really good at eating up a lot of different types of armies. Archons are not the greatest at dealing with Archons, but they're fucking amazing at killing Stalkers. They're decent at killing Zealots and Adepts when you have enough of them and you have upgrades on them. And the last thing is, again, Spinecrawlers could absorb the shit out of Archons. You could make an extra 10 drones to make 10 extra Spinecrawlers, which would be way fucking better for you than making Roach Hydra.
And well, the other problem is I guess I should have put Overlords and made a highway so I could get creep across the map quicker, and then I could have built a spine.
Oh, I would
sort of locked them in.
I would only say you should do that if you're actually going to go for a contain-based style, a really aggressive contain-based style. Sure. And opening Corruptors against Skytoss is not really contain.
Well, if you're going into Broodlord, right?
Well, okay, so
unmobile.
You can still attack him and shit like that, but you should not be trying to static defense contain him. That is a waste of your time. That is an overinvestment. Sorry.
On top of my Broodlords is what I'm talking about. The Broodlord slow push, sort of how you always do the Terran slow push.
Yeah. So keep in mind too, this is another thing. If your opponent actually opens up Skytoss and then decides, you know what, actually I'm just gonna go fucking Archons, he's gonna have no Skytoss. So you don't need to have 40 Corruptors to deal with that. You could easily go into Broodlords like we were talking about and have a Broodlord set up to deal with a ground transition from the Protoss. But yeah, the biggest thing is you just need to efficiently spend your gas so that you're not doing everything at once. Because if you do everything at once, what it does is it makes the thing that actually is important become really, really, really delayed and really weak. And it makes it to where it's going to feel like every time you attack them, you're going to be like, well, fuck.
Yeah.
My units suck balls and I can't do anything.
Yeah, that's 100% true. Huh. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. He just makes cannons. This guy makes cannons instead of sending all the Zealots like the other guy.
Yeah. Even if the cannons are done, I want to just explain one more thing. You're doing a great job, by the way, with the Corruptor. This is really nice. You want to be killing carriers like this. It's awesome trades for you. But the thing about Lings versus cannons is it's mineral versus mineral. And the same amount of minerals it takes to build a cannon is the same amount of minerals it takes to build 6 Zerglings. So if your opponent has... how many cannons is this? This is 8 cannons. That's... You would do 8 times 6, which is what, 48? You would send 48 Zerglings at these cannons to have equal investment of minerals. And 48 Lings with level 3 melee and Adrenal Glands will fucking destroy 8 cannons extremely hard, and then it will kill everything else at like this base, for instance. So let's say hypothetically you have your gas and his gas, all of your gas investment, which is your Corruptors versus his carriers and whatever, like Void Ray or something. You're all fighting up here at the natural. You have his attention there. His whole fleet has flown up there to defend his natural because you're trying to piss on it or something.
Yeah.
And when he's out of position, exactly. You send all the Lings over and you just fucking destroy a base with Lings. And you could do it the exact opposite way. You could actually send the Lings at a base. Let's say his carriers are still there because he's worried about Lings. Come in and kill a base with Corruptor. Yeah. You just slowly reduce his income this way, and you have a shitload of Corruptors and a shitload of Lings to do it because you're investing everything you have into doing that and also into getting yourself a good economy to keep reinforcing it, rather than crippling your own economy by investing into every tech at once. It all comes down to windows of time in the game where shit is useful, and like I was saying, Roach Hydra is not necessarily useful in-game against someone who's going to max out, especially on something like Skytoss. Roach Hydra will just literally walk in and die, and you'll be like, well, that sucked.
Yeah, so I'd take that trade any day. I took 2 carriers and 1
a Void Ray. Yeah, that was really good. The biggest thing too is always try to, if you ever go against Skytoss and you're going for Corruptor, always try to, as much as you can, maintain Carapace. Always get level 3 Carapace as fast as you can.
Okay.
And I like that you're getting melee on the ground, but again, Carapace on the ground for this situation doesn't matter, because if you were to go for Zerglings, regardless of if you have level 1, 2, or 3 Carapace or no Carapace at all, a cannon will always 2-shot a Zergling, and that's the main thing you're going to be fighting with Zerglings.
So yeah, I get the expansion.
Yeah, that's good. I like that you're being active and you're trying to fuck his economy over. You have to do that to beat Skytoss. And you also the way Skytoss works too is the Skytoss player, if he goes for cannons especially, he's going to invest so many minerals to statically control his side of the map, which means he's going to expand very slowly. He's going to take one base every like 3 minutes, which allows you to control the map with Corruptor and to take every fucking base at once basically, and have like double his gas income. So you can really do things like, even if you take a bad trade where it's like you lose 10 Corruptors to kill 2 carriers, it's still fine as long as you maintain your good economy, because you can reinforce way faster than him and you can cripple him quicker.
That's pretty much how I win this game. I lose all my Corruptors at one point, and I'm able to remax on Corruptors.
Yeah, no, if you have the economy to do it, it's totally fine. But like, watch how you micro this, and watch when you actually fight his army, and you have enough Corruptors right now to where you will one-shot every unit he has, and it makes a weapon upgrade totally irrelevant.
I think I lose them all here because I don't care. I'm like YOLO over the fucking cannons. Oh no, I pull out. Oh yeah, no, comes out and I get it. Snipe another.
Yeah, no, that was an amazing trade for you again. That was really good. You lost probably like half the resources he did in that fight. Yeah, the biggest thing is just keep in mind with the gas always, because let's just say this too. Let's say hypothetically, this is the last time I'll pause it just for the sake of everything. Let's just say hypothetically you did not invest into Hydra upgrades. You did not invest into Carapace on the ground, and you did not invest into a second Spire, and you did not invest into attack upgrades. All round, all together, this is probably around like 1,300 gas that you would have saved otherwise. And let's just say that 1,300 gas is now 13 more Corruptors. Right now, you would have almost 200 supply if you had 1,300 gas invested into Corruptors. And your army your existing army right now is that's 18 Corruptor. It would have been 13 Corruptors higher than that, and you would have also had 13 more Corruptors in the fight you had earlier when you killed some of his carriers and Mothership over the cannons. And again, you're one-shotting his units anyways with that many Corruptor, because you are going to focus fire. You have to against carriers, otherwise you're going to be shooting interceptors.
Yeah.
So you would have been killing Corruptors more efficiently because you have more of them just fucking there, and it's more like the more you have, the more pressure it applies. In terms of like, even if you lose like 1 or 2 here and there, you still have enough to continuously fucking one shot, even if you're flying over cannons or whatever. And it really fucks the Protoss over before they get stuff that you're scared about, like Storm or Archons or other shit like that.
Gotcha.
Game resumed.
And it also would make you kill a base faster if you wanted to pee on it.
Yeah, so here I just pee on all tech. I'm just like, free tech.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Get mine.
Getting Mothership power. So now that you see Archons, this would be the time when you could be like, alright, I'm going to pull out, I'm going to go for Hive, and in the meantime, while I'm going for Hive, I could make 20 Spine Crawlers on my side of the map, or 10 Spine Crawlers, or whatever, and you could go into Broodlord. That is the defensive way to deal with it. The aggressive way to deal with it would be, oh, look, you made fucking Archons. I'm just going to now switch into Mutiling, and I'm going to use Corruptors to pee on your bases, and I'm going to use Mutiling to kill cannons and fucking other bases, away from your actual army.
So in my case, I made Swarm Host. I guess no good.
I don't know. If you're going for Spire, you're not actually getting upgrades for Swarm Host, ideally, and they're no waste of your time. Yeah. You should be getting, you should, like this Swarm Host supply should honestly be Zergling supply with melee upgrades, or Mutas, one or the other.
Okay. So the reason my thought behind this was they're free, and I can take out all the cannons for free, essentially.
They do it really slowly though. Like watch what one wave does here.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I've got the whole map sort of controlled at this point.
Kind of. Right now, you're both mining effectively on 5 bases. Yeah. Well, he's on 4. You're on 5. It's still pretty close. Because you do have a 6th base in top right and a 7th base in bottom left.
Yeah, you're right. I'm looking at them. They're not very effective at all. They do fuck all. I think you're 100% right, because the Mutas and Lings are so cheap on supply versus...
well, the Mutas would be good. Expensive. The Mutas would be good at, like, just overall pressuring, like, the Templar. And, like, when you, like, let's say you're go right now. Like, watch the Templar. This is the kind of shit you should think about when you play a game. You know where his army is right now. You just saw it with your Swarm Host. And let's just say, hypothetically, instead of those being Swarm Hosts, let's pretend that those were Zerglings, okay? So you would have just seen where his army was. And now you move your Corruptors up to another location to really pressure him. You can almost guarantee he's going to cross the distance between where he was and where you are now to come defend his base. So let's say you have Mutas right there. Like, you know he's going to go up, and as soon as you reveal your Corruptor, you go, alright, let's go pick off some fucking Templar. And you fly in, and you're like, oh, look, Templar. This shit happens all the time. People do this every fucking game. They literally will send their whole army back and forth. They'll bounce back and forth between one location at a time to defend you wherever you're attacking. So if you have a secondary group in position to flank...
Pick them all off. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
You could even do Lings instead as well. You could have like a group of 20 Lings just run down the ramp and go, maybe I'm going to catch some Templar right now. If you don't, who gives a fuck? It's not like you're going to lose the game now. Nothing happens. But if you do, that is so much fucking gas that he loses for nothing, basically.
And it, I just, so fully upgraded Lings against Zealots. Still, you still say
they will do very well. Because if, like, this is, it's all, again, one more time, it all comes down to gas investment. And if the Protoss opponent is going Sky Toss, but he's investing into 333 upgrades on fucking Zealots, his fleet overall is going to be such a fucking small army that you could always, 100% of the time, you will always overpower his air army with your Corruptor. It will never be contested, because he'll be investing, like, if he gets up to 333, he'll be investing a total of, like, fucking, like, 1,800 gas, which could instead be, like, 7 carriers, or 6 carriers. So he's not ever going to do that. At most, he might invest it into, like, attack upgrades, because he might want to have charge slots running around the map, attacking your bases as well. So even if that's what he does, the second you get Adrenal Gland Zerglings, equal investment, 4 Lings versus 1 Zealot. 4 Lings kill 1 Zealot, easy, with Adrenal Glands at +3, if a Zealot even has +3 weapons in charge.
how about so I opt for some static defense because I'm so maxed.
You could. You don't have to, but you could. I would only say you should do that if you're really paranoid about dying to like a transitional Archon push or something like that. But a lot of times what'll happen to you if you do this is if you start investing in a static defense, what'll happen is you'll start becoming a little bit too defensive in some of your games, and you're going to let the Protoss expand more than you should.
Sure.
So just keep it in mind as an option if you're really paranoid about Archons killing you and you really want to go to like Broodlord, but it's not a requirement. Zerglings are a requirement. You want to really just put the pressure on Skytoss. Like, you're doing a pretty decent job doing it. You're fucking him up left and right pretty hard. But there is a very big lack of Zergling pressure in this game.
I think just fast forward through this. I'd like to play. I don't know if I have time. Maybe I should get another arrow for you. I was just play one game, or 1 or 2 games, and in the background you can coach. It'll be hard because you know
if you
when
want to play a
somebody's
live
speaking
game.
to you and you're trying to listen and you're actually concentrating on the game.
Do you want me to play against you personally?
No. I'll play a ladder game and then see maybe some coaching in the game, in-game coaching type thing. I don't think we ever did an in-game coach before.
How are we gonna? You want to do Archon mode for that, or do you want me to watch you play a custom game against someone? I'm assuming.
I was just gonna play. I was just gonna play a game ladder or against somebody on the street.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry, I'm like making it much harder than it sounds. Man, I know we went over this a lot, and I already stressed the point, but I just want to stress it one more time because right now, this is a way you could throw this game. You've overall you've crippled his heir pretty decently, but now you've put yourself in a situation where you've invested all your corruptor that were still alive into Broodlord, and you invested into roaches. So you invested into a pure, and you also have Stormmost. So you have a 100% anti-ground army, and you invested a lot of your bank, of your mineral bank at least, into investing into this. And if your opponent actually crushed this army and then counterpushed your new bases, you would actually lose this game. It's just like you overcommitted to dealing with Archons, in my opinion, and dealing with cannons. Because right now you're going to lose a shitload of supply and a shitload of gas.
I'm kind of hoping to. Right? What am I making now?
You're going back into Corruptor and a couple
Yeah.
Swarmmost, or one Swarmmost. I like that you're going back into Corruptor, but that was like a huge waste of resources because you invested in units that were not necessary. I think you just gotta rely more on the Zergling. Trust me, when you start doing it, and you'll be like, "Holy fuck!" This is really good.
I just have low self-esteem for Zerglings these days because against Terran you just get, even with full upgrades I still get wiped. You know, like you can't just go Zergling. You need to have something else. You always have to have Banes. It's
just
so damn good.
Keep in mind, Zerglings are not always the best unit to kill an army with, but they are fucking amazing to kill a base with. And the idea of Zerglings in this game is to kill a base. You want to be killing buildings, like cannons and nexuses and probes. And they do that amazingly. Like, no fucking problem at all.
Yeah, so you're right, because this game would have been won had I not had all those bullshit that I had before. Like, it's going on way too long.
Because now you're having kind of like an economy problem, and if your opponent somehow played it out well enough to actually overpower your new expansions, you would be in a situation where you're like, well, I'm kind of fucked now because I can't mine.
Yeah. Okay. So do we have time to do a game? Anybody on stream?
I'll
Masters level stream.
Yo, guys, thank you for all supporting the stream as well, by the way. I fucking love you guys. Sorry I'm not really talking about it. Alright, so anyone...
who's this guy?
This
guy's a troll. Philly Divisi, or whatever.
Phileas
He keeps sending me
JVV.
Zealot. Video on
Alright, so...
Z-Lot.
Would you like to play a Terran or a Protoss? And would you like to play Masters level? Or...
Sure.
Which,
yeah, Masters would be good. And,
either one?
I think Terran is what I have more Well, Terran isn't changed really much. It's the same thing. It's always been hard. Protoss, I mean, I have least trouble with them because I can catch them like you just saw there.
Yeah.
Now that I know go Ling instead of worrying about the other bullshit, let's do Terran.
Okay.
Terran's just always a problem.
All right, so any Terran master level in my stream, it doesn't really matter what you're gonna do, bio or mech. Just if you're a master level Terran, that would be ideal. Let me know if you want to play, and
My buddies is.
anyone you want, man. If we can get anyone, let's do this. But just let me know if you're someone in Twitch right now and you're master level Terran. Just let me know that if you want to play, so I can tell you how to log in and join the chat, the group, and all that shit. Oh, shit. If we for some reason can't get anyone, I could play you myself, but
Sure.
yeah.
You know the psychological warfare that you just win straight up. It's like you're gonna win straight up. Just all I have to hear is the keyboard clicking. You know, like your 400 APM spam. And I'm just gonna, I'll just
You get flustered.
Oh my God.
Let me just pull out the cable modem wire right now.
All right, sounds good. Bronze turn. Nice, guys. Fuck yeah. All right, really quick, I'm just gonna say thanks to everyone who's went crazy throughout my coaching lesson here. Ruiner, Fathom, Not Mr. Beans Man, Nikos, Oh My God, and No Focus. Thank you guys for the subs.
Yeah, that would be funny. We get a Velo on.
Yeah, right.
Oh, if I can chase down a Velo. I don't think I'll win though. But if I won and then you're like coaching in the background, you post the VOD and just we're making fun of him the whole time, that would be just
gold.
I think that would be the second like most watched VOD on of StarCraft.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, G-Rain, Grain, thank you for the sub as well, man. Welcome. Getting good as well. Uncle Diddles, Steinway, all you guys, Phileas and ZvP. Thank you guys for the bits as well during all that. I think that's all of you that did it. Thank you guys. I appreciate the support. Sorry I'm not really focusing a lot on talking to the stream and stuff. I like to focus more on a coaching lesson, which is what we're still doing. But I just want to take a brief moment to say thanks to everyone. So no one has said they're a Master League Terran. Do you have any buddies that are available?
I can stream. No, that doesn't look like I have anybody on right now.
All right, we can just play me and you. I'm about a Master's level Terran, I would say.
I mean, I could stream to my thing here, and you could see from the stream, or I
How
can play
good is
you,
the quality of your stream? It might look like complete shit.
No, I don't know.
A stream from a stream.
Yeah. Here, let me launch it and see if it looks good. Then we'll do it. If not, I know you'll win straight up. Like everything that you taught me, you'll make me so flustered that you're so fast that I'll just straight up forget everything that you said and just like run into the window.
It's like it's. I feel like we'll get a pretty shit. I lost you. I think. Hold on.
Broadcast.
Here, let's just play a game.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Whatever's easiest.
Wait, you're a Master Law, right? Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just like making sure I got the right person here. All
All
right.
hang on. Let me close the.
I'll mute my mic for the game, just so you can focus on the game too, and then I'll like talk to the stream.
Let me close up your stream too.
All right.
Okay.
Are you
to
ready?
go?
Okay. All right, good luck, man.
Thank you. I'm gonna need it against you.
Get Nathanius. Yo, Steinway, thank you for the 300 bits, and Phileas, thank you for the 1 bit.
By the way,
Splashing
I'm
the
gonna
cup.
put down my headset, so I won't hear till after.
Yeah, that's fine. I was gonna mute my mic so you didn't have to hear the keyboard and stuff. Yo, Phileas, thank you again for the bits. I was supposed to do over-the-shoulder coaching. Yeah, but the thing is if no one's available to play at the current league of what I'm going to be doing, it's kind of irrelevant then to do it. If I'm like, hey, I'm gonna coach you versus a fucking bronze Terran, it's super pointless, and I really don't want to be watching someone else's stream on my stream. That's horrible coaching. So instead, what we're gonna do is I'll play him in a game myself, and then we'll talk about the replay afterwards. He wanted in-game coaching though. Well, guys, this is why I'm the fucking coach and you guys aren't. Okay, motherfuckers? This is called making do with what you have. And we're gonna do a coaching session after this game. And also, by the way, I'm even over fucking limit here. I've gone over my limit with this guy by 15 minutes. So this is kind of like extra anyways. So relax, people. Fucking relax, bros. Yo, Phileas, thank you, man. No! This is life, this is real life, we cannot relax. Fuck. Vibe needs bits for overtime. Yeah. It's all good. The main reason why I'm giving him extra coaching right now, overtime, is because this guy has bought multiple lessons now. So I don't give a fuck, that's fine. If he supports me on the regular to do what I do, then I don't give a shit, that's fine. I don't mind going over it. But yeah, we are going to be going over the replay after this game is over, so he'll have a... It's more about understanding the game. And to be honest, playing against me, as long as he doesn't get nervous, would be better than playing against someone else as well. Because I'm relatively high level on Terran, so he'll get a better overall game. Creates good habits, guys. If you play against harder opponents, you create better habits for yourself. As like 10 people in my chat are like, listen to this fucking guy trying to justify just wanting to clown him. What the fuck, I clicked on the gas. I forgot that we're in Australia. So overall, that wasn't bad. Well, now the big question is, how is he going to react after what just happened?
here, boss. Can't wait.
The mistake I think he made was he really needed to make banelings.
Bad news. SCV ready. Okay. SCV ready. In the rear. SCV ready. Are you ready?
Hostile forces engaged.
Systems go. Cyclone ready for action. Hell to the metal. Talk to me, boss. SCV ready. Yes, sir. Ready to raise some hell.
He's doing well though, like overall. He's handling himself.
It's online. Let's go kill something.
Mineral field exhausted.
SCV ready. Show me who you want it. SCV ready. SCV ready.
Add-on constructed.
Ready to raise. SCV ready. You got coordinates or we got a target? Show me who you want. Console. SCV ready.
Alright, so how will he deal with
Under siege. Upgrade
tanks?
completed. Attack.
This is the question here. And the basically the overall stronger mech army.
What's going on?
Oh, yeah.
Yo, what up? Thank you for subbing. You guys are subbing like crazy today. I love it.
Got any extra firepower?
New technology researched. Upgrade completed.
What's going on?
Mineral field depleted.
Alright. We'll talk about it now. I want to see his build order. Yo, Dragonal. Thank you for the sub, man. Welcome, Dragonal. Welcome. Dragonal. You're like, what Dragonal? What the fuck? My name is Dragonal. Thank you, man. Thank you. Alright, let's get back on Discord. Alright, I'm back. Gotta invite him.
Warm up games.
Yeah.
No, yeah, dude. I was so late to Hydra. Like, when you came, that's when I was getting Hydra. I like had no idea where my fucking unit for a little while.
Yeah, it's so I just wanna kinda go through and see the overall differences in the build. I think the biggest thing, just something like a little tip I can give you here that would fucking own in general. You would have fucked me over really hard if you did this. Whenever you do the Ling build against Terran, if you actually cripple them and make them lift their command center because they didn't defend properly, always check for more bases with at least one Zergling. Just send one Ling out. And if you see something that's like ready to be denied, you could have actually denied my third. And the main reason why
I had no idea you were taking it to that was insane.
Yeah, if you would have denied my third,
Stop being a Zerg Terran.
I was going for a heavy mineral build with aliens and fucking.
That's fucking. I've never seen a Terran do that. That's only a Zerg player does that. The thing is, really can't stop it. Like it's really hard to stop it.
If you would have saw it with your Lings, you could have. It was only like 70% of the way done when you did it, so you could have denied it.
A lot of Terrans, like there is some Terrans that I've seen, and they do that, and they put a planetary fortress. You can't stop it at that point. If it gets to a planetary, you're done.
If it's a planetary, you don't even want to fuck with it then at that point.
Yeah.
But a planetary is also expensive in itself because now that's no longer mules there and 150 gas put into that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, attacking
As
it
a
would be
greedy
horrible.
third, I mean, I'd give up the mules for a greedy third like that, and nothing can be done about it, right? Like, you literally can't kill it for like another 5-10 minutes.
A lot of times, if I were to ever see a Terran going for like a planetary at their third, I would just expand. Like I'm versing just a really passive player. It's like the same kind of thing you get with like cannons and sky toss.
Sure.
They're just gonna be super
yeah.
fucking passive.
So I like had half my drones at one base, and I was like, "Where the fuck did you kill all my drones?" And I made a huge round of drones, and I'm like, "Oh, there's 31 drones on my third base." I was like, "Oh."
I think it was when the Hellions came in.
Yeah.
And you rotated.
Yeah, it's really hard with fucking lag. I don't know how you play against.
No, I know. I totally forgot it was going to be on the Australian server, and I agree with you. It's really hard to play with lag.
I was so happy I got those mules. I was like, yeah, fuck you, mules. No money for you.
Yeah.
I could have got up. You were just in time there.
Also, here's
I should have left one zero.
That's what I was gonna say. You could have probably actually won the game right there, even if you would have done exactly what you just said. The first wave, just blocking the ramp from going up, or the depot from going up.
Yeah.
If all those things got in, I probably would have died.
You would have killed it, but you would have been really crippled. I think you would have lost a lot of economy.
I would have definitely lost a lot of economy, yeah. So now, your economy is looking alright. I like that you're getting a Baneling Nest. But you're also getting, I think getting a Baneling Nest and a Roach Warren is overdoing it again. It should be one or the other. If you want to go for Roaches, you can go Roaches now. If you want to go for Banelings, don't even bother building a Roach Warren.
Didn't expect that when I'm talking about as your third base. I was like, wow.
Yeah. Super greed.
Yeah, they just wiped out so many there.
Yeah. But, so like you do have a quick layer, and I'm gonna pause it really quick. The only reason why I think you would want to have a quick layer is if you wanted to go for Roaches. If you want to go for Ling Bane, you could easily take. It's the same thing against Protoss. Like you don't want to be having 4 gas so fast. Although you are pretty decently saturated now, so it's fine. But I don't know when exactly you built these gases. I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at the other side of the map. But just keep in mind, you don't want to be taking if you're going for like a Ling Bane style, you don't want to be taking a lot of gas until you're pretty decently saturated on all 3 bases. But if you're going for like Roaches and you're going for a fast layer with like a speed upgrade, it's more okay because you're investing more gas than into 200 alone is going to be into a layer in Roach speed and then in the Roaches themselves.
I should have a 4th up by now too.
I
No?
think so too.
Should
yeah,
I be?
You should.
Yeah.
But yeah, you want to have at least you have two options right now to deal with what I'm doing to you right now, but you didn't make either of them because you went ultra greed. If you realize I'm going for heavy Hellions like this, you definitely want to have either Banelings ready to go or Roaches ready to go. I think Roaches are the more cost-efficient way to do it because you have to spend less larva than you would on Zerglings. But yeah, with Zerglings though, you would take more bases faster, so that would be the trade-off.
Game resumed.
So are you playing on the Australian server when you're playing in?
Not always, no. I'm playing on American a lot. So I get
So
like
you got the
200,
crazy
200
lag.
300 ping. Yeah.
You go for straight up upgrades.
Yep.
You got so much done with so little.
Yeah, no, it's because you didn't have the proper... Like, you made the proper buildings, the tech, but you didn't have the actual defense. You need to have
Yeah.
either Lingbane or a Roach. But not both. Both is too much. It's expensive.
It was so laggy I couldn't do the what do you call it trick there that you do? The,
Yeah, the Spore Crawler build thing.
yeah, I tried to make it for like it didn't work.
I like that you're taking a fourth base in the bottom. It doesn't really matter where you take it. You just
It
want
was
to
actually
take
supposed
one.
to be 2. I was trying to take 2.
Yeah, you eventually do take the space. The one in
Yeah.
middle left. That's good. I like that. That's really important. Because if I'm mech, all you have to do is play defensive against mech, which means you should be expanding more. Playing really aggressive against mech is kind of suicidal. Once it gets to the point where mech is really established.
Sure. Yeah, and I'm just trying to scout to see if you're taking your 4th. I see it, and I'm like, okay, well, there's a 4th. Nothing I can do about it right now.
Yeah, no, I like that. You're investing into economy, and you're investing into the greedy route to deal with mech, and I like that you're doing that. The unit choice,
I'm
though.
late on my upgrades, though.
Game
Yeah,
paused.
it's upgrades
And I
are.
shouldn't be getting melee. I should be getting range.
You should be getting range missile, but also the other thing too is Carapace isn't that big of a deal against mech either.
So do it's sort of like the Protoss, the 1/1 bot ground
Yeah.
attack and
Because
melee attack.
what's going to happen against what's going to happen against mech? This is like two ways mech can play out on the ground. One way is your opponent will go heavy Cyclone Hellion all game, and that is when Carapace would actually make a difference because it would make a big difference against the Cyclones. But the thing about Cyclones is they're actually deceivingly shitty the longer the game goes. Like they're kind of like Roaches. They can be good early on at dealing with shit and being really bulky, but the longer the game goes, the more worthless they become because they overall kind of suck in in-game scenarios. Like if you're going up against like Broodlords, if you're going up
So
against
strong though. They
No, they're-
take so much damage.
they take a lot of damage, but they don't really do shit though. Like if you have the right units to deal with them, they get fucking destroyed really easily. Like if you had, let's say for instance, you were going for like Broodlords would be the most easy example. Let's say you have 12 Broodlords and like 4 Infestors behind it, and I have Mass Cyclone Hellbat, and I try to drive into you, and you just land 2 massive fungals on my clump of my army. I will lose that fight 100% of the time, and you might, as the Zerg player, you might not even lose any supply if you're chaining good fungals. Like you will just fucking destroy me. Same thing if you have like Lurkers. If I drive into Lurkers with this army, you will fucking destroy me. If you have Banelings with speed and you have Lings wrapping around on creep, you will fucking destroy me. If I'm going Hellion Cyclone all game. It's a really strong army early on, and the reason why that is because it's cheap, and it lets you expand really hard as Terran. It lets you play Terran like your Zerg, basically. It's like literally going Roaches as Terran. But it's really fucking terrible in-game tech-wise. It's seriously the same thing as Roaches. Like you don't ever want to go 200 Roaches against like 200 tank fucking Thor or something like that. You're gonna get fucking wrecked if you do that. And it's the same thing with Cyclones against like spellcasters and fucking AoE damage and air
Okay.
units.
So one other thing here, I did a mistake is instead of Lurkers, I was thinking Lurkers and Nidus on you. That was my idea.
Okay.
I like always doing that with Lurker Nidus. But I should have got the range upgrade or whatever the upgrade is now. What the fuck is
The
it?
Hydro
Is
upgrade?
it Speed?
It's speed and range.
Yeah.
It gives you +1 range and more speed.
So
It would have helped a lot.
probably
Yeah.
should have done that. Yeah.
And I definitely would recommend, if you're gonna go for Roach Hydra style, you should definitely go into.
You caught me right as I was making my hydras. You moved out exactly at the moment I made 16 hydras.
Yeah. One thing to keep in mind though, that's kind of scary, is if you're going up against mech and you want to go for lurker-based styles. I know you want to Nidus and you want to try and get damage done. That in itself is okay because that will hit a timing that's before I have mass tank, and you could potentially fuck me over and win the game. But if your Nidus doesn't win the game and you're going into lurkers, you need to fucking rush to Viper like the fucking second after that Nidus fails or it doesn't end the game. Because if you're stuck in a situation where you're going lurkers and I'm going tanks and we're both setting up
cloud, yeah,
well, either a blinding cloud or abduct, because what's going to happen is you're going to get fucking picked apart by tanks leapfrogging forward. Because if you engage forward into a tank line, you're fucking dead.
Yeah.
100%. And tanks will bully you backwards until they kill your bases, and you'll eventually just run out of money.
Game resumed.
I honestly think going against mech, air is honestly the ideal.
So I
personally.
should have just backed off because I'm in range of your tank here, right? Like,
You could fight this, but a better way to have done it, in my opinion, would have, because you
back
see
off to my third and then like kind of two-prong you.
Well, you kind of like make your units at your third come down from the bottom, and make your units from the natural come in from the top, and you get on the tanks immediately. Something like that. Try to get on the tanks as fast as you can, because if you let the tanks fire, they're going to do insane damage. Tanks do, like, if you let tanks just freely fire nowadays, they will fucking wreck your army. Another thing you should have done with this fight too, in my opinion, is pull all your queens and then make new ones. And send your queens out before you actually send your army out. That way your queens are the ones getting shot by the tanks, rather than your roaches. Because the queens are going to die if you do that, for sure. But what it does is it buys you like 5 seconds before your roaches get shot, which allows you to get in on top of the tanks.
Yeah. That's it. And like now I just can't make units quick enough. That's it. It's over.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. Now, like, you're getting crippled now because the cyclones are still there.
Cyclones have so much health, man. 180 health, even more than a tank now. That's insane. What did they used to have?
120. So they got a 60 hit point buff.
That's a huge fucking amount of health.
But cyclones are really weak against air. Like, one of the best things you can do against mech is go air. And then they go
when
Thor.
I do that, I lose all the time because I do that and I stop that mid-game push, but then they come out with a bunch of Thors and just wreck me, and I don't have enough gas to make Neuroparasite to stop the Thors. I don't know how to stop the Thors other than Neuroparasite.
So there's two ways. There's Neuroparasite, in my opinion, is the best way because infestors are good all game. It's like transition. Like, you have like stepping stones you take versus mech. You have like the opening units, and then the next units, and then the next units, and then the next units, and it's like one step at a time. But if you can make any unit in those steps that is now useful all game and is going to be there all the time, that's fucking amazing. And infestors definitely are that. But an easy way you could deal with mech at a not pro level, but just below pro level, like Master League style, maybe GM, would be open roaches, whatever, to be safe and you're fine. So you could deal with like the initial Hellions and shit like that. Go into Muta, and then deal with everything else to follow up, tank, Hellion, Cyclone, whatever, follow up with Muta. Maybe make like 30 Mutas. Switch back into burrow movement roaches. Just like stop making Muta at like 25 or 30.
Yeah,
and then you just go fucking mass roaches. If he goes mass Thors and you go mass roaches, you literally exactly do that. You just burrow into his fucking roach or into his Thors, and you up burrow and you just start smacking them like they're fucking immortals or something.
Yeah, so
and you
like
just
one shot.
You cripple his Thor count and you just remax roaches. And you try your best to not engage the Thors with your Mutas, because the splash of the Thor was buffed now. So even if you magic box, you're still gonna get AoE'd.
It's just doing so much damage.
But yeah, what the Mutas could do is just not let your opponent expand further than what he already has. And if you cripple his Thor count with roaches, you can just overpower him with more and more roaches. That's a way you can deal with it easier than Infestor. But it's not as effective as Infestor. I will say that right now. It is effective, but not as effective as Infestor.
Yeah, well, what it is that in between is where I run out of time to get to. I can't get to Broodlords, which is what I would normally do to like the 100% way to deal with it. Broodlords with spores protecting me, like a slow push style, that like whatever.
Yeah.
So I normally go for Infestor and Parasite, and I Parasite all the Thors that come into a battle, and it's just like turns the whole fight around. But yeah, anyways, when you waste all your gas on Muta, then you have no gas for that, and you have no ground army to do that with. So that's where I die. Okay, so roaches will work.
Yeah, and you also have the roach tech already from early on in the game as well. If you open roach, so it's like it synergizes as well.
Awesome.
All right, good
Thank
shit,
you
man.
so much.
Yeah, no problem, dude. I hope I hope some of the stuff works out and helps you out in your
I'm
game.
definitely gonna have to put it to use. It's certainly gonna give it a try, and hopefully I won't be so frustrated.
All right, sounds good, man. And you always have the stream as well to watch if you want to see me doing shit too, just for more ideas and all that kind of stuff.
Of course. Thank you very much, Vibe.
Yeah, man. Thank you for getting another lesson. Help support me, dude. I love it. Thank you, dude.
Well, hey, over there, what's the dollar exchange right now? It's like, is it 30 or 40%? Something like that's got to be.
I think it's like 35. I think it's like the Australian
Like
dollar
you're
is
taking
like
a holiday
six-
on a holiday.
Yeah, right. So I think it's like 65 cents or some shit to the dollar now. It's ridiculous. Or like maybe it might be 70. But yeah, it's pretty. The American dollar is pretty strong here right now. All right, man.
Thank you.
I'll see you on the stream. I'll see you next time.
Yep.
Have a good day, bro.
Take care. Thanks.
Later, man. Yep. Later. Thank you. All right, boys and girls. Sorry about